I'm Dr. David Ajibade, and I want to say thank you for taking the time to stop by and to look into what we've been doing these past 10 plus years. And I got to tell you, I'm amazed at how much we've accomplished, even with the most minimal of resources. And a lot of what we've been able to accomplish has come from the dedication, the sacrifice of wonderful staff and volunteers, not just in Abuja, but around the country and really around the world, who have seen our vision, seen what we've been doing, and decided to chip in and be a part of it. Our goal when we first started was to help those children find some sort of solution or relief, help them recover to some extent from birth trauma primarily, and also things like autism and like jaundice, some kind of injury. Most of the kids that we helped, we focused on helping were those who had some kind of injury around or during the time of birth. So during pregnancy, at birth, or a few months afterwards. Again, many of them had what is known as birth trauma, where maybe they got stuck in the birth canal, they lost oxygen, for instance, and as a result, parts of their brain died or deteriorated. And so our goal was to help them.
My name is Robert Dominic. This is my son. That is Dominic. He was born on the 28th of June 2017. He was born, he was not breathing, he didn't cry, there's nothing like pulse, as in he was declared stillbirth because the doctors tried everything they can to make him cry or even fight the pulse, they couldn't. So we're just there praying and asking God for mercy. So at some point, after like an hour plus, they've already left us there. There is a stillbirth. So because I was holding him, I just felt his hand moving. I called back the doctors and the nurses. They ran back. They started beating him, trying to draw out the mucus, everything. All what they've done before. They started doing it back before he now started crying. His color started changing because he was gray when he came out. The color was gray. There was no blood, as if there was no blood circulation, nothing. But after he started crying, they now attended to us and cleaned him and everything. But he didn't stop crying. He continued crying. They discharged us. We left at around 12 or so, but he was busy crying throughout the day. So around 12 or so, he stopped crying. Out of tiredness, I slept off. So only for me to wake up, I saw him gasping for breath, as in, what is happening? I woke my husband. So I woke him, I said, look at this baby, what is happening? You have to stand up immediately. and started rushing to the hospital back again. No, so we went to Maraba Medical Center. They rejected us there. So they referred us to Nyanya. So we went to Nyanya. That was where we went through the emergency ward. That was where they saw us and they tried to take us. The nurse said we have to go to ICU. I said no problem. That they will descend, they will keep us, they will admit us. I said no problem. So we went there. At the verge of asking his name, trying to register his records and everything, he started gasping and shaking and stiffening up. I was like, his eyes started turning. The nurse have to rush and place him on, remove an oxygen from the child, then the baby there, and place it on him before we could get our own oxygen. That was how they admitted us there for 1 week. He was throughout in the oxygen and some injections and everything that was given to him before. After a week plus, they now discharged us and went home. But as he was growing up, noticed that he's always still as a baby. Especially when he cries, before you bend his hand, it's small. Now I went back to the hospital before the nurse there, and after the checkup, he said it's best asphyxia. That's what they called it then. the place was so many drugs. Most of them are forgotten. The next sometimes the drugs is hard to find. Sometimes they have to be from Lagos for us. Every week he must be placed and us in an oxygen because any little fever he will start choking. I have 3 children before him. In fact, he's the last one. So I've never had this kind of baby, like this experience. Why like this? At the hospital there, I can remember the doctor's name, Dr. Onwe. So something I've forgotten her name. She was the one that referred us to Brain and Body Foundation. After seeing the doctor, he advised us that we should pray along with it, that he wants federal government to endorse so that the drugs is quite expensive, so that the drugs can be free. So no problem. Started kind of, they God help us. So after they said we should go, I give them like 2 weeks because the drugs is you can't afford it. A pack that time, I think they said a pack of that Aroga, one of it is 45,000. Then wow. So let's give him like 2 weeks. The process is ongoing, so he will let us know. So after like 2 weeks, he actually called us by himself and told us that we can come. That by the grace of God, the federal government had endorsed the plane, and was like, thank God. That was how we started collecting the drugs free. Nothing was paid, nothing was collected. In fact, I just thank God for this Brain and Body Foundation because I don't know. So many people were telling us that this is not a baby, or we should throw him away. I was like, how will I throw a baby that is alive? I'll go and throw him away, dump him somewhere. Some will suggest some native drugs and stuff like that. But as we started coming to Brain and Body Foundation, he can't sit. He was some months, I think 8 months or so. He can't sit. A baby that can start sitting from 3 months, 4 months, but he cannot sit. His hands are still stiff. Everything about him is just still the same. He cannot sit down. Not talk of crawling. I said, God, even if it's only for him to sit down, they let him be sitting down and watch other children play, I'll be happy. We stopped buying any other drugs. We concentrated on the Aroga 4 then, because that was what they used to give. So with the help of Aroga 4, the first month we collected it. Before the second month we go back, there was improvement. I was like, wow, thank God. So the doctor advised us to start physiotherapist. So we started seeing the physiotherapist, then going 2 times in a week for the joints and everything. But we thank God that after like 2 months, he started, when you keep him, he will sit but with support. But then even with support, you will find out that he's not sitting unless you are the one holding him tight. But after like 2 months, he started sitting with support, a little support. That you know that his weight is actually on his body. So that's how we continued coming. He started sitting down. I was like, thank God. Even if he's only the sitting down. That was after a year plus. He's a year and 2 months there. That was when he started sitting down without support. He would sit down. When he'll start crying, you come and carry him. So that's that. Before you know it, a year and 3 months, he started crawling. Although the crawling was not normal crawling, he would just be moving as if he's swimming. That's how I say he would be moving with his stomach. I said, no problem. At least if he can go like that to go and pick whatever he wants to pick, I'm okay with it. So we started going on like that. Before he started crawling normally, everything was like a dream. People that was telling me to train me were like, so this is actually a baby. But I thank God, after a year and 8 months, that was when he started working. It was like a miracle, seriously. We don't give any other drugs. It's only the Brain and Body supplements. We give him. The only thing we ask for him is calcium. Up to today, we still give him calcium for bone and everything. So that was how he started working. He started talking. There was a time he was not talking himself. You know, all this baby blabbing, he doesn't do that. Doctor advised us we should seek for a help of a speech therapist. I was like, we called the speech therapist. The money the man called, we didn't even go there because the number doctor gave us, we called him. Only on the phone when he mentioned the money, He said, I said, God, even if he cannot talk, at least he can hear you when you call him. He will turn. He sees. I said, I'm fine with that because this one is too much. How will he be spending? I've forgotten how much. How will he be spending such amount every week? No. So just advice, maybe we should put him in this special school. Or like special school. No. Instead of putting him in special school, I'd rather try normal school. Let's see how he will cope with other children. He has siblings, he cope with them very well at home. So let's see how he will cope with other children. At the age of, I think, when he will clock 2 years. So they were working very well, but he cannot talk. And now I went to their school. I explained to the teachers. I said, "Sissy, this is his condition. Please, let's just see." Because when he sees his younger one, the elder one's going to school, he will be crying. Let's see, since he likes going to school. Let's see how, if I enroll him this time and you book cannot come, I'll just withdraw him. They said, no problem. That was how we enrolled him to school. They take care of him specially because they understand his situation. Even in the assembly, they will keep chair for him to sit instead of standing up like other children because he can't stand for a long time. Although he walks, even when he's walking, sometimes his leg will bend and he will fall. Sometimes when he's walking, you have to hold him so that he will not bend like that. So they understand his situation. They keep him to sit, and before you know, he started talking, just like that. I was like, wow. So as he started talking, we are happy. He said, no problem, but he cannot write. His hands shakes. So when he wants to hold pen, you see his hands shaking like this. So we started managing that. When he comes back from school, the elder sister will hold him and teach him how to write with guidance and everything. But now, that's how he pick up. Now he can write. He can do whatever he wants to do. There's nothing Darius cannot do.
Hi. What's your name?
Cyrus Dominic. How old are you?
7.
Wow. Tomorrow is your birthday. Happy birthday to you.
There was a time they were telling me, what kind of medication do we give to him? I was like, what happened? I was thinking maybe it's a bad compliment. I was suggested what I was like. Immediately he entered the school, he said, what did they teach you yesterday? He will be the first person to ask me. So I now remember the Arogafo has brain supplement. I was like, well, maybe it's the brain. And up to today, he has never taken second. That was always come first. Brain and Body Foundation really helped us. We don't spend money on it, on any drug and anything, only the supplements. So now he writes very well. He speaks. He expresses himself anyhow he wants to. He plays with other children. He can run. He can jump. In fact, you'll be scared. Don't do this. But that's what he wants to do. Because we still see him like there's some limited things he can't do, but he don't see himself as having any limitation. So that's how we are now. We just thank God for everything. It's not easy, but God really made it easy for us.
We knew that things like omega-3s, actually omega-3s was the very omega-3, an omega-3 liquid, which was donated to us by the Zone Labs. Dr. Barry Sears, a personal friend and mentor, donated a whole bunch of them to us. And so we used that initially to help kids with brain disorders, and the results were fantastic. I mean, kids who could not hold their neck up, or who could not smile or laugh, or could not walk, was suddenly getting much better fast within days, not just weeks, but within days. These were things that were considered absolutely impossible according to medical science, and we're seeing these miracles, and that's the only way to describe them. And the senior directors, senior staff at the Federal Ministry of Health describe them as miracles as well. So I'm not just pulling a word out of where. So these were miracles we were seeing on a day-to-day basis, and I gotta tell you, those were some exciting times, not just for me but the staff as well. So that's how we started. Then over a period of time, it began to evolve more and more because, of course, when people know they are successful and they have problems, or they know people who had problems, they will bring them to the clinic. And so we were operating a clinic every week, once a week, free of charge for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people who are coming from all over the city. And I would just learn along the way too, because so they would come with this. Sometimes they would come up with an issue that I hadn't seen before, and I would have to go back to the drawing board, study a few things. Might even call some of my collaborators or mentors in the U.S. and ask for their opinion, and they would give me some direction, and I would apply it. And lo and behold, it would work. That's how sickle cell disease came along the way too. Of course, we started with omega-3s. That's what told us, or that's what's helped us know that it was possible to address this. Prior to that, we just thought sickle cell disease was a genetic blood disorder, and there was nothing you could do about it, and just except wait for Western medicine to come up with a solution. We thought, if omega-3s work so well, then what else could possibly work as well, or even better? And that's what led us to immune support supplements. It led us to antioxidants, led us to other anti-inflammatories, and of course led us to supplements that improve blood flow, that help to dilate or widen the blood vessels, and it help to move blood through the blood vessels. And it was remarkable the results we got.
Hello everyone, my name is Ebube. I'm medical doctor by profession. I've been privileged to witness this clinic, and I think the foundation is doing a very wonderful thing. I've been opportuned rather to work with a couple sickle cell disease patients with different presentations. With my years of experience, I have been privileged to work with some of the best consultants in the field, and coming here today and witnessing some of the things that I've seen here, I'm so happy to know that this foundation is creating more awareness for sickle cell patients and bringing them together. One of the things they do here is, aside from giving them the supplements to help them, is also creating awareness and letting them know that there's beyond even the supplements, there's a lot that they need to do for their health. And they also give these supplements free to these patients, especially a lot of them cannot afford this care on a large scale. But with this foundation and with the supplements so far, the awareness is being created, and they get the sense of belonging. They get these things free. One of the things that is contained in this supplement, zinc especially, is a very good antioxidant, and I believe it will help even with the crisis of these patients to reduce their crisis frequency and help with their red blood cell stabilization.
My name is Michael Muji. This is Ayomide Michael. Yes, the unsmiling face. And this is Ayomiko Michael. They're both warriors. He's going to be 16 by October, and he's 8 years. He's going to be 9 by January. The journey with sickle cell anemia for both of them has been bumpy. It's been rough. It's been challenging, really. In the sense that for them, both of them, yes, they're warriors, sickle cell anemia warriors, but they react to different things. Different drugs works for them at different stages of their lives. There was a time we were on other supplements. We went as far as buying, even from outside the country. You buy at exorbitant amount, and it's working for the other one, and it's not working for the younger one. So you end up stopping, because I cannot be using one for this one and start looking for money to buy. I went as far as Ijo Karimu for a particular supplement that was working well for Ayomiku, but was triggering crisis in Ayomide. So it's been like, hey, off and on hospitals almost every month we're there. We became like a usual customer when it comes to going to the hospital. It got to a point like it was just so exhausting. Then my neighbor now told me she has a daughter that had cerebral palsy. Then she now told me about Brain and Body Foundation. So she was actually the person that introduced us to BFF. That's like 7 years ago.
My name is Michael Muji. This is Michael Ayomikun. And this is Michael Ayomide. My first time.
Your sons, you know they're diagnosed.
Yeah, both of them are sickle cell anemia patients.
So, and since we started coming and collecting Citamil every month, it's been wonderful for that. The crisis rates was the first thing that's reduced. We that were normally almost every month in the hospital started going maybe just for checkups alone, and maybe even if they're going to have pain at all, just maybe very mild pain that we can easily manage at home. Eventually, we stopped even having any major crisis. Like now, before we started using Citamil, almost every other month they're on admission either for crisis because the pain is beyond what we can manage at home, or for transfusion because the PCV is low, or infection. One thing or the other takes us there, and they always admitted like maybe a week, 2 weeks were there. But since I use Citamil, maybe we'll just go for checkup. And our last major crisis or major admission was last year August. So August till now we've had a real crisis-free year. And for this, we're really, really grateful to Brain and Body Foundation.
Good morning, Brain and Body. My name is Chioma Abwetoglo. I want to thank Brain and Body Foundation for helping my baby here, Constance Abwetoglo. To be sincere with you, before someone introduced me to this foundation, it was a very, very, very tough time with him. Every month we always go to the hospital. If they did not say it's cold, they will tell me it's malaria, different stories all the time. Either swollen tummy, joint pain, headache. I was even tired to the extent of abandoning him, just to leave him with his father. Whatever they want to do, they should do. But a friend of mine introduced me to this foundation that I should come. Ever since I've been going to the hospital, I've not heard anything about supplement, but when she introduced me to this side, the thing stopped. And before I even came here, there was a certain crisis that happens to him when there's a pus that came out of his hand. The first time we battled with it went back. Then the second time happened. They said we have to go on surgery for him at his right arm here. This is the pus, the mark here like this. This particular pus here gave us serious tough time that we end up going to the hospital for surgery. Though the surgery went successful at the actually time, a stage came up. The surgery was like, is going, is not going. Every day we go for cleanup. With this pus took us up to 2 months and before it went off. They said we have to cut off his hand, that the hand is damaged from here to here. Became very dark, black. They say no more blood flow, that the boy cannot move his arm. I have to call a member of you to help me and assist me. I have to show him the hand. He was the one that even encouraged me to not allow the doctor to cut off the hand. He was giving me what to do, telling me what to do so our blood can flow. He really helped me. He's a godsend from this foundation. So when I went to the hospital and he sees that this hand will not be cut off, they said okay. They asked me which supplement am I giving them. I called the name. One of the theater nurse said that it's like he has been hearing about this foundation, that if it's the supplement I'm using, that I should continue using the supplement. That was what helped me. I did not cut off the hand, and I keep on giving him the Citamil. Immediately I started giving him the Citamil, to be sincere with you, everything about crisis stopped. And I also followed the instruction they asked me to keep some certain food that he will not be eating. To be sincere, there's nothing like crisis. Even though it's a crisis, just maybe a day or two, everything will just disappear. No more crisis, no more. And he eats well, sleep well, play well. In his school, he's very smart. I don't used to run helter skelter. At times I will be in my working place, they will call me, maybe my baby is just sleeping, shouting. Only the proprietor of the school knows his case, what that does not know his case. I want to thank Brain and Body Foundation for helping me out. I can't save money As of then, I can't say. Once my money is up to something, that is when a huge crisis will come that will eat up everything. But now I'm so happy. Look at him here, very healthy. If I don't even tell you that he's a sickler, you will not believe me.
I gotta tell you, we've been very, very blessed to have the support of volunteers. I've just been amazed at the quality of volunteers that have come to us just seeking to help out. And I think that's because of the mission we have and, of course, the results we have. People see that we are truly trying to serve and trying to help children with brain disorders and sickle cell disease and other conditions and other genetic conditions. And they see the results, and so they are encouraged. I mean, young people are looking for a way to serve. They're looking for a way to contribute, looking to be part of something bigger than themselves. And so I feel very blessed that we've been able to provide that environment for them.
Hi guys, my name is Goodness Wankwesi. I'm the head volunteer at the Brain and Body Foundation, and I've been with the foundation for about 2 years now. I resonate with the mission and vision of the Brain and Body Foundation, which includes reaching out to medically fragile kids, providing nutraceuticals for them. I've always been passionate about reaching out or helping people, improving their lifestyles or quality of life. That's what we do at Brain and Body Foundation. So it resonated with me and has helped me thus far in committing to the work here at the foundation. My very first clinic at the Brain and Body Foundation was in 2023 or thereabout. And what was so inspiring or encouraging so far was seeing the impact what we do here at the foundation. We're giving these beneficiaries. It was almost like we're giving them hope, giving them a fighting chance, giving them reasons to actually go on with the struggles they're currently facing. And then the magic was where you go to the clinic, or personally where I witnessed some kids who come to the clinic, they couldn't hold their neck, they couldn't do certain activities or achieve certain milestones, and after being on the nutraceuticals for a period of time, the next clinic you're seeing actual good progress reports. That's what kept me committed. The impact was actually seeing lives being changed, being transformed, the lives of these kids being improved on a daily basis. I would like to say to all volunteers who are thinking of investing their time and talent here at the foundation, it is a profitable venture. You won't regret it. You will invest your skills and you also learn a lot.
Hi, my name is Lila Liho. I'm a volunteer at the Brain and Body Foundation. I was inspired by the Brain and Body mission and the passion of its team. The energy and dedication of the staffs and volunteers were infectious, and I felt compelled to contribute my time and skill. Volunteering with the Brain and Body Foundation has had a profound impact on my career and personal growth. It has helped me develop valuable skills such as project management, leadership, and communication. It has also given me a sense of purpose and fulfillment, which has positively impacted my overall well-being.
Hello there, my name is Daniel Bowman, Head of Operations at the Brain and Body Foundation. At BBF, our mission is to deliver a unique and personalized approach to patient care and support, particularly for children living with sickle cell disease and neurological disorders in Nigeria. So no matter where they live, we attend to their needs and their challenges at no cost. To further our work with sickle cell disease, we at the Brain and Body Foundation have to think outside the box, and I mean that literally. It will interest you to know that so many healthcare professionals in Nigeria only regard sickle cell disease as a blood disorder. Now, while that is true, we really didn't see a lot of improvements in the lives of the kids that were coming to our regular clinics. So that made us to explore other options. First, we decided to conduct a research on the role of vitamin D3 in the management of sickle cell disease, which led us to find out that just by giving these kids micronutrients like vitamin D3, vitamin C, and zinc, it went a long way to prevent the occurrence of crisis. Now, of course, that led us to formalize that approach, and it birthed Project SCD Nigeria, which was in collaboration with Embrace Kids Foundation and Tackle Sickle Cell. Now, in that time, we produced Citamil, which is a combination of vitamin C, vitamin D3, and zinc. And in 2023, when the initiative started and it ran until 2025, we have been able to provide Citamil to as many as 6,000 kids living with sickle cell disease across 14 states in Nigeria. We're happy with this achievement because we see the impact it has made in the lives of these kids. We have so many of them now who no longer go to the hospitals. There are so many of them who have not had crisis for as long as 12 months. The frequency, the severity, and the duration of their crisis has significantly dropped, and we're glad for this result. From an operational standpoint, the past decade has been instrumental in our growth. We've been able to build scalable models that combine, number one, strategic partnerships, collaborating with hospitals, research centers, and local clinics to extend our reach. Secondly, we organize data-driven programs using real-time analytics to monitor patient outcomes and optimize mobile clinic routes. And lastly, we apply strict resource management, ensuring that every donation is tracked, every team member is empowered, and of course, every delivery is on time. So we're talking the medical and the therapy that we give in our clinics, whether it be free consultation, whether it's with the assessment of each child's case. We ensure that everything is done thoroughly, and with due diligence, of course, we make sure that patients receive care at the right time.
Hello, my name is Pekulia Obiuku, and I am the office manager at the Brain and Body Foundation. And I have been with BBF, I think, for over 3 years now. The experience has been worthwhile. The experience has been amazing. I actually started as a volunteer, and what drew me to BBF in the beginning was the attention and the support care given to children with neurological disorders and children living with sickle cell disease. And then coming in and experiencing the clinical activities especially was really mind-blowing because of the extent of support and care that is being given to these children. I have been opportuned to witness it firsthand, and then also transitioning into a more permanent position is a worthy opportunity for me because I not only get to be part of the clinic activity but also be part of the activities that go on at the background, that goes on behind the scene, bringing the plans and our goals to life. One memorable experience in BBF was when I was surprised on my birthday. It meant a lot to me because I have never really gotten a surprise in a work setting before. So, being my colleagues, friends gathered around and celebrating me really meant a lot to me, and I am so thankful for that.
Well, we've been very fortunate to have great partners. Some of the partners have been people or organizations who have donated the supplements. I remember when I used to travel, anytime I heard about a great discovery or a nutrient that could help children, the children in the foundation, I would hop on a plane, go to the US, and basically contact the people, the scientists behind these discoveries, or the owners of the manufacturing companies that were producing these products. And I would go spend some time with them, learn at their feet, ask them questions, and then of course, cap in hand, beg for some samples that we could take back. And we had such gracious people who were willing to help because they knew we're helping the kids, that they would donate very generously of the supplements and the things that they will now take back home, and we would use them on kids, and the results we would relay them back to these people who were so kind to donate to us. So yes, those were one kind of supporters. There were others who actually helped us financially and are still helping us financially because of the work that we've done. And I just want to make a point here that because we were very diligent to give them accounting, letting them know how we were using the money, they were more empowered to give us, or they were encouraged to do more. And so it's been a partnership in which there's been mutual trust, mutual respect, and mutual accountability, where we make sure that we don't take them for granted. And we're very, very thankful for the support that we've enjoyed over these years.
wow, it's 10 years already. That's unbelievable. I recall the very first time that Dayo and I had this conversation, and it was really quite illuminating, to put it mildly, because for me, anything that inspires confidence, allow for good health, care, support, and show love represent things I value immensely. I love people, and I love people when they are in their state of health, where they can contribute optimally to the cause of humanity. So it was easy. It was a very easy decision for me to take at the point when I decided to join. Anything that has to do with progress, human progress, is something I always will support. Not only is Dr. Ajibade and your team curious about finding solutions to all health issues around, but even looking out for those areas that I consider so rare, most especially around diseases that are supposedly historically untreatable, but somehow, somewhat, you've been able to massively influence lives, affect lives, and give hope to those who probably were losing hope. I've seen a lot of stuff done with regards to those losing their memory, seen a lot done with regards to stroke patients. I've seen a lot done with regards to people with heart diseases and all the other so-called terminal diseases and ailments of our society. So I'm quite impressed so far with the level of results I'm seeing and the perspective being shared. Now, there is nature for me, and nature speaks to the fact that innovation, creativity are things that we must continue to work on. There's nothing called the best, and of course, the best, like they say, is yet to come. So, within the space of healthcare, I would say without a doubt, you guys have done incredibly well. In terms of advocacy in areas of concern, you've equally done very well. Even cancer issues, you guys are dealing with that as well. Those are things that are quite ennobling, that I always want to associate myself with, and I commend your efforts. Well, like I said to somebody strangely this morning, I don't measure success by the number of awards people receive or organizations receive. I measure success primarily by the number of lives that we can touch. I always feel that if you can touch one life, you've touched a generation. And even in areas, one of the things I feel is that the cost of treatment is really rather high. I would want to see that go down to the point where people can afford to be able to take care of themselves. Any healthy population leads to a healthy nation, and a healthy nation for me leads to real prosperity in terms of the value of that society. So the healthier we become as a people, the better for each and every one of us.
We've enjoyed the partnership with the federal government over the past decade. Now we want to expand that to partner with state governments, because in the final analysis, what we're doing is it needs to be implemented and it needs to be applied in hospitals, whether private or government, where people, like for instance, sickle cell disease. Right now, most kids are being treated with just giving folic acid, antimalarials, maybe pain relief, maybe and some antibiotic, and they're sent home. Many times these interventions are not enough to keep them healthy and keep them going to school without missing classes. With our intervention, they're able to live almost normal lives. And so we want to have all these other hospitals and all these other healthcare professionals be aware and be educated about what they can do over and beyond the standard treatments, and so that they can be more able to help their patients. So going forward, we want to see more of our approaches being adopted by private and public and government institutions, so that they can better serve the children that they're serving. Right now, I don't really see anyone else or any other organizations that are coming up with these solutions or solutions as effective as what we have. And I believe that we have a responsibility to take this information to them so that they can adopt them and maybe change their ways. A lot of it is really going to come through policy changes from the upper echelon, from the Ministry of Health, the minister himself. And that's what we're hoping to have those conversations so that the policy changes can be made and effected in the different hospitals and different centers, as we talked about. Folks, the truth is we've been operating on a very limited shoestring budget. I heard an interesting statistic that many NGOs really less than 20% or maybe less than 30% is actually goes to the final target of providing the nutrients or supplies or interventions for the patients or the people they serve. A lot of the rest of the money goes towards administrative, paying for administration and staffing and all that. In our case, it's complete opposite. Most of what the money we get goes directly to supporting, whether buying of the supplements or interventions. So we have a good track record for that. And ours is the Brain and Body Foundation is a really good, even if I say so myself, a good organization to support. We've shown over the past 10 years our faithfulness to this cause, our single-minded dedication and commitment to helping children with brain disorders and sickle cell disease, without which many of them would have died and lost and probably would have been in severe debilitation, which not only is a financial burden on their families, but also an emotional strain on families. And I'm so glad and happy to say that we've been able to help reduce that burden on many families and many homes around the world, around the country. Now we have to expand that beyond just the country of Nigeria. There are several African countries who are in dire need of our support. And so with your help and support, we can help to reach these unreached parts of the country and parts of the nation. And I'm sure you will see a lot of smiling faces. One of the things that we would love to do is have people actually adopt a child or adopt a family, where we'll be able to show you on a monthly basis the results of the support you're given. So that's what we're looking to. We're looking to having organizations maybe support an entire village, for instance, and having them see the results of their support. So it's really exciting. Well, the next 10 years, I believe that we have just been able to lay the foundation and the groundwork to do much bigger and much better things. And with your help, we will eventually get those things done.
As we look on to the future, we hope for sustainable support from relevant stakeholders in government, civil societies, and health institutions in order to continue to engage communities that are underserved, and we believe that will translate into real-world change. So thank you for shining the light on our work. Thank you for trusting our vision, and together we will redefine what is possible in the pediatric healthcare system in Nigeria, Africa, and beyond.
It's been 10 years of saving lives. It's been 10 years of affecting people. We've made a lot of people smile in the last 10 years. We've made a lot of people who felt they didn't have hope in any way of come back to life and achieving purpose for which they were created. We're going to do more. It's a multiplier benefit I'm looking for, not an addition. People talk about value addition, I talk about value multiplication. So my aspiration is that as a foundation, we'll multiply the very best of ourselves by ensuring that people's well-being are taken care of and they become healthier and better. I need a lot of people to smile more just because our foundation exists.
May God keep on rewarding you guys for helping me, and may God keep on blessing you. Thank you.
Really grateful to Brain and Body Foundation. Thank you.
My name is Michael Ayomide. I want to thank the Brain and Body Foundation for helping us and giving us drugs since our babies. Our lives have been growing great. I believe they can help others out there.
Thank you to Brain and Body Foundation. Yes.
I want to wish you a very wonderful, happy anniversary, your 10 years and many more years to go.
Happy 10-year anniversary, Brain and Body Foundation.
Happy 10th-year anniversary, Brain and Body Foundation.
Happy 10 years anniversary to the Brain and Body Foundation. Cheers to the next 10 years.